Evening, Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Our
Christmas,
last
Chris.
show.
Our last show of 2021. Wow.
That's right.
Do
We had
you,
a little,
do you got?
had to vary a bit tonight, Because we had planned one, but kind of slipped up on us. So
Yeah. No, all good. We had a couple gentlemen lined up for the show. They have a really cool product. Yeah, Yaldi. Oh shoot, now I'm forgetting it. Yaldi Renting, I believe, is the company called. And they're a pair of brothers from Scotland, and they're in Scotland right now. But their Wi-Fi where they were staying at wasn't very good, so we decided for just better quality and experience, we'll have them come out in the new year. So that will be a show in the future. Something I'm really excited about, and something I'm going to implement in my business is basically what they have set up. And I'm not going to try to dive too much of detail, but they're rewarding tenants for doing occasional inspections on an inspection platform. That PDF gets sent off with pictures to the landlord, and in return they get rewarded for either through, I think, like maybe a gift card, or through putting their name in for a chance to win $1,000 or a first month or a free month of rent. So a very, very cool thing. So folks, yeah, tune in. Thanks for saying hi. This is really the last show. I've got one pretty exciting announcement I've got planned, something kind of on the cooker for 2022. And then we had a really interesting conversation last night. I was at a Christmas party with a bunch of other investors and landlords. It's actually my Mastermind Christmas party, and we got talking about wellness checks. And I don't know much or anything about them. I've never even been a part of one, other than I just started hearing about them in the last little while. And I asked Chris, and Chris, this is kind of up your alley, right? Since you're retired law enforcement, have you done a wellness check before?
absolutely, very
Okay.
interesting. Very interesting from left to right on that. It's so. What are we looking for? How to get one done, or what to do if you have to do one, or
Well, like, what, like,
give me a
okay,
scenario.
so yeah, so let's dive into this part, and then I'll save the kind of tidbit for the mastermind in the end. Um, so what is a wellness check for people who don't know? Like, I kind of have an idea, but paint a good picture first, Chris.
Well, usually what our wellness checks are, as we used to get calls from family members who or friends who just haven't heard from somebody in a long time, and it's unusual. And that unusualness is outside of the character, general practices. I hear from them, once a week, and it's been 2 weeks since I've heard from my dad. Or I usually talk to Helen every day. I haven't heard from her for the last 2 days, and those are the kind of things that people become concerned about, because it goes outside their normal, um, everyday or every week, their regular practices, right?
Right. Okay.
So,
So you're checking on the health of someone. If you haven't heard from them in a while and you're just generally concerned. So how does that fit in for us landlords then? Is that something that we
well,
should be aware of or should have to use?
absolutely. I think it's, to be aware of, well, things to watch for. Let's cover that, and then we'll say, well, how are you going to deal with this? First off, I think what you do is, you know, you're aware of whatever routines with your tenants. I have tenants that I never hear from. The check comes a week before the end of the month. Every month, I never hear a peep from, a boo from them. I hear other ones. I hear from them probably once, maybe twice a month, just asking me a simple question. So let's do the scenario. Your check comes regularly once a month, the last week, and now it's gone 2 or 3 days into the new month, and you reached out to them and didn't get a call back. So first thing is, okay, did they skip out on me? No, you see both cars parked there, and you've seen the same light on when you pass by, or for the last 2 or 3 days. So I'm kind of making this up as I go, but you see something that's not normal. So you
You
decide,
see no
well,
changes
I'll
at the
just,
property.
no changes, right? And maybe being winter, you don't see any footprints out front, and the walk's not swept. So you thought, okay, go up and knock on the door. Do you have to give 24 hours to knock on a door? No, just go knock on the door. And if they come to the door, great, you know what's going on. Ask them for their rent. If they don't come to the door, look through a window. Nothing wrong. It's your property. You're concerned. It's a valid concern. Look through a window, basement window up. You see something. Um, I've had the ones where people have called them in, and you go and you knock on the door, nothing, and you walk around to the front window, and I look in the front window, and there is somebody apparently sleeping on the couch. But it was an elderly person, and no matter how much I banged on the window, they're sleeping on the couch. And, you know, it's sort of a tough thing to talk about this time of year, but you look and you can see they're probably a little whiter than what you know a human being to be. So from that point, in my job, I had to wrap it up a little bit and try to find a way in because they weren't responding. So you look in, maybe you see something, maybe you don't. So now it's a concern as to why isn't my renter? So you have a list of emergency contacts. So you go to your emergency contact list and you phone them and said, hey, I haven't heard from Jimmy for a bit. Have you? Well, no, as a matter of fact, I haven't. Now that you mention it, I'm usually hearing from him, every other week or so. And you say, okay, that's odd. Phone the other contact. So now you've got two people that say, no, they haven't heard from them. So you maybe I would contact the police to say that here's the situation with my renter. I've done my due diligence, checked with these few contacts, and they're saying that they haven't heard from you. I need to go into the house. So you ask the policeman and you say, can you guys come with me? I'm concerned what I might find in there because this is an odd behavior. And they'll say, sometimes you'll get a policeman, well, just go and check and let us know. And if there's a problem, we'll come. We'll say, you know what, because I'm going in without notice, it's kind of nice if you guys could just stand there just so they know that, if they are there, that I'm coming in because I'm concerned and there's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, set that context right, because that could be so easily misconstrued that you're infringing on the tenant's privacy, right? So you want to do it by the book, and if it's truly something you're concerned about, and you've done the emergency contact, which is a great reason why you should collect them. Not only does it for using it to be an emergency contact, but also it does have secondary value as follow-ups if there's missed rents and other ways to track down tenants in the future. But yeah, so you've done all this stuff and you're coming in, and why not come in with police beside you to show, in fact, that there's something going on. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So the short of it, let's say you call in, usually, of course, get the dispatcher. And dispatcher, if you have one that debates a little bit with you, can say, look, I just can't go in. I don't feel comfortable in case something that happens. But can you just have an officer call? Explain to the officer that you're feeling uncomfortable just waltzing in the house without proper notice, and you're concerned because you haven't heard from them. And again, you repeat your due diligence. Can you just pop by? Like, we'll plan it for when you can, after your coffee and donuts are done, we'll come by. So, and so they can come by, and hopefully that works for you.
Cool.
Let's say you gave a 24-hour notice, you decided to go in, and then you found something. If you find something that's not right, um, I don't want to go into detail, but if you find something that's not right, just take 2 steps back and contact the proper authorities. It's a tough time of year, folks. Like, it's a tough conversation to have, and you just don't know what's going to happen at this time of year. So
Yeah.
checking with your tenants, wish them a Merry Christmas, drop them off a card. Tonight after the show, I'm heading down to see my tenants, and I'm going to drop them all off my Christmas thank you. And I have the cards all done up, and I give my tenants $100 at the local grocery store, and it's a gift certificate.
I like that. I really do.
Yeah,
And I've switched to that just because it's easy. I've done gift baskets in the past. It just takes a little more time and planning, which I'm a little bit short of these days. But I think they really appreciate if you give, especially $100 to your tent to save on foods or Safeway or Sobeys or whatever it might be, and it kind of makes the Christmas a little bit extra special when they can put a little bit more food on the table, and it's not out of their pocket too. So
the one thing I'm really determined to do when it goes to giving back to tenants is I'd really like to do this, and I've talked about it on the show before. Is you take your rent, divide it by 12, and add 1/12 to the month. And at the end of the year, December, and don't tell the tenants, and you say you take them 1/12, or not 1/12, sorry, depending on the number of months they've been there. So if they were there 7 months, you take 7/12 and give it back to them. And it's like, what's this for? Just thank you for being here. If they leave before December next year, say they gave you notice to leave October 1st, well, you've got 10/12 of rent in your pocket, and just don't tell them this is what you do each year. And that's also goes into general revenue. But that's something I want to do. I'd like to be that landlord that people seek out to, and they're good people. And you offer a good service. So one day I'll get this figured out, and but I don't want to overprice it too, because people don't, they look at what's this costing them, because you're also not telling them if they stay till the end of the year they're getting their money back, right? So
Totally.
yeah.
Well, that's cool. I like that,
Anyway,
Chris.
so there's your
Yeah.
wellness check conversation. Don't be afraid to ask, and if you ever put it on the page, if I see it or Max sees it or somebody else who's watched the show sees it, we'll advise you. I've taken phone calls today and yesterday about other different things, and I don't mind taking them. I love meeting people, and we're all here to help. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very cool, Chris. I mean, and, looking back, I would probably say with the unfortunate news of tenants passing, we probably get a couple posts, at least a couple posts a year. I'd probably say that since we've been doing this show, and it's almost, will be 2 years in May. There's probably been 6 of those posts with tenants, having health issues and unfortunately passing on. So this is something that we need to be aware of, and certainly know that we can use it at our disposal. So yeah, and Christine says right there, I had to do a wellness check on my mother-in-law. So yeah, no, it is a serious thing. On a more of a positive note, Christine's down in Lethbridge checking her rentals, and then she just shared some cool news. So I want to say congratulations, Christine. She just closed on a fourplex, no money down. So congratulations on growing your portfolio. That is awesome. That's really good news.
no money down. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's got to have a hell of a return if you're going in with no money down.
absolutely. That's cool. Well, we might have to get
Yeah.
around and talk about that. Because that's a lot of people are trying to do that, right? Growing their portfolio. So I'm going to be a little bit sneaky here and use that as a segue. I was telling Chris here in the back show that, so for people who don't know, I'm personally part of a mastermind. I found it one of the most beneficial things I've done to kind of help me reach my goals and keep me moving forward. We're a group that meets here in Calgary once a month, and ours is a little bit different for a format. We do it in person, but it's something that's been very beneficial. And you've known us for a while, Chris. We want to be the go-to resource for Alberta landlords. We want to help people do better in the business, and I truly believe if we've got more landlords sticking around in the business, there'll be more rental housing available, which will help the people in need that need the housing the most, right? So affordable housing, like we're a huge factor in that play. So something I've been playing around for a bit here, and this is kind of more of the first official announcement is I'm starting a landlord mastermind. It's going to be small. It's going to be 5 people max. It will be something that will meet a couple times a month. It will be online, so whether you're Lethbridge or you're from afar outside the province, it can be met anywhere. And it's all about accountability, growth, helping each other out, and really just excelling to the next level. I found that having that peer-driven accountability within a group is something that's really helped me excel. So if that's something of interest to you, reach out to me. I'll be posting a link here later in the week for a sign-up list. It is by application because I really want it. I have to have the right people together. So I'm going to do a little bit of filtering, ask what people's goals are, and if I find the kind of motivation together, that will be kind of how we'll put that group together. It's the same kind of collaboration. So if you're in this business and you want to continue to grow and you want to be accountable and learn best practices and work with your peers, being a landlord here in Alberta, maybe this is the group for you. So reach out to me.
Cool. That's a great idea, Mac. You know what? Scenarios based learning or roundtable discussions are an amazing way to learn. And a lot of the courses
Yeah.
I've been on over the years is sit around and solve that problem as a group, and you'd be surprised that one little thing tweaks with somebody and you come up with an amazing solution. So
Yeah, and and that's exactly it, Chris. And it can be all obviously I'm bringing landlords together, so that would be the general topic around improving your landlording business. But there's certainly personal goals involved as well. Self development. I've taken I've weaved in personal development or productivity goals as well. So it's a combination of all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Mackenzie and I are, if we can ever get this COVID stuff under control, we do have a great in our back pocket plan, and that's to actually host a weekend giant mastermind and come up with, we've written up different course outlines for different ideas, bringing in guests, and we'll go to a hotel conference room, and that's our ultimate goal for us. And the only thing that's shutting us down is this whole COVID thing and what people are comfortable with or not comfortable with. So we are going to do something when we know what government and social expectations are out there. So this will get
Yeah.
better. This, at least we have this forum and we have the page, and we'll continue to swap ideas with everybody. But just keep rolling with us, folks. We have a plan. It's just COVID's making it difficult for us right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we're going to kind of look, looking forward to 2022, since this is our last show of the year, Chris, we want to take, I would love to be able to make the Alberta landlord community a household name for any landlord in Alberta. It's the place to be to learn the business. And I quite believe that if we've got more educated landlords out there that are confident because they know the knowledge, they know the law, because they're part of a community that supports them, you're going to have a better success managing your rentals. Whether you're intentional or accidental landlords as well, tenants will have a better experience in Alberta. We'll be able to maintain our legislation. We won't. We're very fortunate in what we have, and I want to continue building upon that and maintaining this, and hopefully becoming a voice for landlord rights too, if we get a large enough of a following. So, we're 3,500 members. If I've done some numbers right, that's essentially there's about 105,000 landlords in Alberta, right across the board from multifamily down to the mom and pop landlord. So we're just on the cusp of getting out there, and folks, the biggest compliment you can help us out, if you know a landlord that needs to be a part of the group, please pass on the community. We get a lot of referrals, and that's what helps us grow. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Just share the link with them. Send, even if you see somebody on a different page and they're talking about, the buzzwords are this, is that say, well, I have this tenant that's done this. Right away, they're landlords. Or here's what I do with my tenant. Those kind of things. Send them a little personal note. Don't send them something right on their thread on the communication, because then everybody sees. But send them a little personal. Hey, I'm a member of this group over here, and tell them about your good experience with it, and invite them over and tell them to look for us. And every time I see something, I have a pre-formatted note I send to them, and I fire it off and invite them over. And Mackenzie does the same thing. So it's a great little way to grow our community, because you seek out other like-minded people and invite them into the group.
Yeah. And even our Saskatchewan neighbors to the east, absolutely more than welcome. You guys are just as much the prairies as we are, so love to have you aboard. I know you guys got slightly different legislation within the province, but the common problems are still the common problems. So more voices to help each other out and lift each other up. It just does better for the community, and we're better at large. So on that note, I saw Bill Biko shared a lovely little note with a little bit of humor that he got censored by Facebook.
Yeah,
Did you see
Bill
that,
is
Chris?
such. I did, and Bill, if you're watching tonight, sir, dial it back a bit, but
Yeah, he said good evening everyone, and he got censored for, I don't even know what he got censored for, but Facebook blocked his comments
what
in our group. So
it went against the community standards of Facebook for saying good evening, everyone.
yeah, so I don't know, I'm struggling with Facebook as much as I love, because it's connected all of us. There's better tools out there. I find it a bit noisy. And folks, that's coming over to albertalandlordcommunity.ca. I'm going to steal that plug. So come over there. It's a place to be. We're actually almost at 400 members over there now. So now it's just choosing to have the conversation over there instead of here on Facebook. As I know, one day something's going to change. We won't have this Facebook group, or something's going to change, and it won't be the way that we can communicate now. So I'm always cognizant of that. We're on borrowed turf. So yeah. Anyways, Chris, I know you. What was the one thing you have a plan for a show coming up in 2022? You're going to have a landlord from every province on a shop talk, and we're just going to talk about provincial differences when it comes to landlording. I know that was a big goal of yours. Are you still working on that?
Yeah, still working away at that. I've got my trusty Kayla down in Ontario. She's well connected, and Andrew in Saskatchewan. Hopefully, we're reaching out. If anybody knows anybody in another province that knows their stuff, send me a personal note so I can reach out to them and invite them. I
Yeah.
want to try to get as many landlords. okay, here's my goal. From what Mac and I, we talk to lots of people all the time. We both know how good we have it here. Okay. And at times you hear somebody saying, yeah, all the rights are to the tenants. And we preach the opposite. We're saying, no, this is why the rules are there. We try to get you to follow the rules, because when you change the rules and try to accommodate somebody, that's when you're getting burnt. Having said
Yeah.
that, go down to Ontario, go over to BC. Let me tell you about the rules there. Actually, we're going to get somebody from there to tell us about the rules. And they're going to be, holy crap, Alberta, are you serious? That's what,
Or even talk
they're
about the
going to be
investing
impressed.
numbers too. They're quite a bit different than what we have in Alberta right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are
So
looking to Alberta to invest. Like, we talked to Kayla, and there's people looking here to invest because what they can sell for down there and buy out here, their return on the money is insane. So yes, if you
yeah,
know somebody, please PM me, DM me, whatever you want to call it directly. Give me their name. Maybe
message us, call
include
us.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe include them in the message. Like create a little group, and once I have the names, I'll add them to the big group, and we'll keep going till we can nail a date out. So
Yeah, absolutely. And then and Christine's chiming in too. She says, "I'm in BC, and that's why I moved my business to Alberta for lots of reasons." Yeah, yeah. No, we are fortunate. So, all right. Well, Chris, I know we're going
well,
to
good
keep it a little
enough.
bit short. We're going to wrap things down here, folks.
Yeah.
If you are interested in reaching out to me about the mastermind group I'm setting up again, it is going to be limited to 5 people because I do want that close relationship building, the cohesiveness, and the ability to keep each other accountable. Plus, to facilitate a mastermind online, it does need to be a small, intimate group. So it is limited to 5 people, and it is by application. So, because I am trying to find a really good fit to breed the best environment for success for everyone. So there'll
Right.
be some more information. I have a whole set of principles, a framework to follow, and goal sharing, and it'll be really good. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
and one of the things that came up today was somebody looking for a property manager up in Edmonton. So we do have trusted partners and that support this page, and we support them. So if you do know somebody who is a licensed property manager and is exceptional at what they do, and they are interested in becoming a sponsor and trusted partner to the page, definitely refer them to Mackenzie or I, and we can talk to them further because we'll put the names out that we know, and you guys can certainly recommend whoever you want on the page. We're not going to edit or filter comments. This is open conversation. However,
Yep.
if you know somebody who wants to get involved with our community and wants to expand on their business, have them reach out to us, and we can do some chatting and see what they have to offer this community.
Perfect. Love it.
And that goes to Grand Prairie or wherever else.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Flicker a light there. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
let's wrap up a little bit early. I mean,
yeah.
what's your plans for Christmas, Chris? Are you sticking around beautiful Panoka? Are you going to be somewhere else, or?
No, we're going to be around Panoka. We have a melded family, so we're going to be having a bunch of us together, and the kids are all the same age, so it will be quite the calamity and personalities there. They just
I
don't
just see
stop.
the
And
smiles. I'm seeing the smile peek through there, Chris.
yeah,
You're ready
oh,
for it.
I'll tell you the humor and the bantering that goes on is for a melded family is they're already calling them, they call themselves our other little brother and our other little sisters and so on and so forth. But
Fun.
it's a lot of fun when you see families that can meld so easily and so well together. So
Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna sneak away to BC, so I'll be in the Invermere Radium Hot Springs area, and I love it out there. So I'll be out there this weekend, all the way out to the second. So I do have
good.
internet access. I will be working, but I will be out there. So yeah, that'll
Love
be
your
it.
job.
That's right. So
All right, folks. Thanks for being here. It's been a pleasure, and looking forward to 2022 with you all.
oh, thanks. I'm not sure who said that. Oh, it's Lewis. Thanks, Lewis. Glad we appreciate it. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Really enjoy the holidays. No live shows for the remainder of the year or live streams that we have planned unless something amazing happens that we have to jump on a StreamYard. We might do that because we're that cool. But yeah, we'll be around in the Facebook group for sure. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Kathy. Thanks for saying, guys. Thanks for chiming in, everyone. Christine, Merry Christmas as well. And that's it. Let's wrap it up. Last show in
Well,
2021,
we
Chris.
got 3 thank yous to put out there, and that is to Keidre, Trish,
Yes,
and Helen,
yes,
right?
yes. So
Our
let's paint a little
3
picture
behind
here.
the scenes. Yeah, you go right ahead. You chat it up.
That's right, Chris. Yeah. No, but these are all volunteers. So these are our landlords that have been a part of the group that have just been super active. And Chris and I directly approached people, and they volunteered to spend time just keeping this group moving forward, keeping it generally PG as much as possible. I know we have our frustrations being landlords because they come in handfuls, but those ladies have truly been like, this group is we would not be here where we are if it was still Chris and I trying to do this alone. There's just a lot of work behind the scenes to keep 3,500 plus members happy. So we're lucky to be surrounded by great people. Plus, we've got some great sponsors that help maintain and cover some of the costs of running this group, because there are some costs. Live stream, this StreamYard platform costs money, among other things. So they help subsidize that. So we're very appreciative of that, because that allows us to get our platform out and talk to you guys and share those best practices. So that would be Brett Turner with Redline Real Estate and Greenleaf Property Management in Calgary. And who are our eviction experts, Chris?
Well, that will be Rob Bonin down in Red Deer from, what's he call himself? Lone Wolf? I love it. Love it.
RBR, right? No, RDR,
Red
Red Deer
Deer.
Recoveries.
Yeah, Red Deer Recoveries. And he's got the Lone Wolf picture. Rob is an advocate for change. And I'll tell you, and I'm going to say it, Rob's sometimes a little rough. He's about a
He's feisty.
60 grit. He's a 60 grit piece of sandpaper some days, but I'll tell you,
Okay.
he'll laugh if he sees us. He'll be laughing.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's made change, and he's made good change at the RTDRS. Those of you who don't know, some of the stuff that's evolved there when it comes to service of documents and everything, that's directly as a result of the things Rob has presented there. And
Yes.
he's not afraid to challenge them. So there have been good changes and more changes to come. And then we have Don Gray. Don's a wonderful guy with Edmonton Eviction Services, another sponsor of ours as well. And,
super active on the page.
Wow, yeah. And when you see Edmonton Eviction Services, Don Gray, he's the other guy. And 2 wonderful, knowledgeable men. And yeah. And some of our other sponsors have been on is Andrea Workington. She was a sponsor.
Yeah, actually, I just talked to her today. So I had got an update. We hadn't had Angie on the show in a bit. She is now taking on a new direction, new focus. So I'm getting in contact with the head of their property management company out in Red Deer to see how they like to move forward. And hopefully I can get another voice on the show. But Andrea is now focused on multifamily development, and she's a multifamily or commercial realtor. So congratulations, Andrea. We do wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors. So,
Andrea used to be a copper.
Yeah, and also
there you go. She finally figured out where the money was, so she got out of policing. Good for her. And who else did we had Brad Langeway with Servit, Calgary and Edmonton.
Yeah,
another
great
trusted
sponsor of the page.
Sponsor of the page. So Servit is our go-to. Brad is an amazing guy. Talks you through everything. In fact, I'm going to be working with Brad probably Monday to deal with an eviction. The guy has just dug his heels in. He doesn't care about the fact that there's an order. And I tried talking to the guy tonight. He was nice enough, but he said he's not going. So we're going to have probably Brad there with his end of it, and we'll probably have to have the police to physically remove somebody. So it's unfortunate, but you know what? There's a man that has knowledge, far beyond. I've learned lots from him, and it gives us the strength in this page.
Yeah.
I don't know if we missed anybody, Mac.
Well, we got credit checks, so we got both single key and neighborly.
Yeah.
So we get 20% discounts through them that we've gotten exclusively negotiated for the group. So I'm pretty happy with that. Those are, I think, the biggest discounts out there out of any probably group, I would think, for rent checks or credit checks. Sorry. And then Front Lobby, which is Landlord Credit Bureau, they've switched. We're working on some stuff in the background. I preach this all the time, folks. If you've got a bad tenant, they have the legal tenant database list. It's the bad tenant list, the official one. basically front lobby has the legal way of actually doing that, and they have a whole little form you fill out, and you can report your tenants, good or bad. So it's not just for bad tenants, but I mean, I would prefer those ones get reported so we know about it and pay the karma going forward. But that would be with Kayla. She's their kind of spokesperson ambassador. She's been on our show a few times, and a good company. They do the credit reporting, which is super powerful, and I think that's it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I encourage you guys to look into these things that we've set up. We worked hard. It's for 2 years now. We'll be coming up to 2 years in
Yeah.
March since we connected.
We have a new sponsor coming on board. Brenda. It's she hasn't signed the paperwork, so hopefully I'm not letting the cat out of the bag here. But we've kind of formalized how we want to structure it. She is a landlord with many years of experience, coming out of Edmonton. She does one-on-one coaching, and she's got limited spots, but she's gonna be kicking off doing some sponsorship with us and just promoting really good messages. She's super sharp, super phenomenal. Pays it forward well, and I'm really excited to have her kind of helping us out, getting the message out there, and hopefully get in contact with you folks up in Edmonton if you're looking for a landlord / investor to coach you one-on-one. She is a phenomenal resource. So
Brenda Bestel, that's her comment right there. Looking forward to it.
So perfect.
Oh, and
Sandra, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, last but not least, I think we've got everybody covered, is Uncle Bill.
Oh yeah. He's cutting down his tone from the profanity that he got blocked against the Facebook community guidelines of saying good evening. But
I just want to thank, I like to call him Uncle Bill because he's just kind of that soft spoken Mr. Rogers type of guy, and I look to Bill for guidance. I've called him up and I've talked to him, and he just gives a calmer approach to things. And you know what? I love having him on the show with us. Bill doesn't sponsor our show, but you know what? He's a rock for our show, and we appreciate it.
And this is Brenda right here, so she's actually tuned in right now. So thanks, Brenda. We appreciate it. Yeah, we're looking forward to working with you. We're going to come up with some good show ideas. Very, very knowledgeable woman, so I'm very excited to have her on the show. And I know, quite frankly, probably learn a lot. So, well, Tris, you're very knowledgeable. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for agreeing to do the show almost 2 years ago. It's cool. It's been fun to grow and be a part of this. And folks, thanks for tuning in. We've done a half an hour saying thank yous. So,
well, I think everybody deserves it. And you know what? Here's it. If it wasn't for the core, our group, our people, our knowledge that's there, everybody has a little bit they can offer. And you know what? The ideas get out there. Sometimes we get a little ramming with each other and we have to dial it back. But you know what? That's what comes down to managing.
You get rammy. I just listen.
Yeah. Oh, Rob does. Hey, guys, take Rob with a grain of salt. You know what? Just when he's pissing you off. Sorry, I gotta say it. We're not censored here. When he is, just call me and say, Rob's ticking you off. Yes, can you deal with him, please? And I'll talk to Rob for you. All right, you guys.
Christine. Cool. Well, folks, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Spend time with your family. Do a little bit of socializing. I guess they did relax the COVID protocols, I guess, to restrictions now. So enjoy your holidays and spend it with some loved ones. And we'll be around. We'll see you guys in the new year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.